Welcome to the three book vlog. Normally it's the middle vlog that goes up, but it's the last one because this is holiday romances, and so because of when I upload, this will come out, I think, the day before Christmas, if I remember properly. If you haven't seen any of my recent videos, recent-ish videos, people are home. So that's fun. If you hear people moving around, that's why. Also, people are baking downstairs. My sister is making a pie crust right now, so I will try to cut out any noises and whatnot, like I'll pause and whatnot. But I have to film the intro to this vlog, so here we are. Where did this video come from? Basically, I want to say around last December when I started planning out themed vlogs, long before I made the channel, I noticed that I read a lot of holiday romance, or I like to read holiday romance around the time of the holidays. There was one I read in 2020 that was a historical romance that I really enjoyed. So last year I read a few. That's why I started reading Tessa Dare, because I noticed the first novella was a holiday romance, historical romance. I also read a 890-page anthology of historical holiday romance. So, that's fun. So I decided to make a list of holiday romances to read for a vlog, and here we are. If you see my TBR, I did mention a historical romance in that. That's been cut out. I am not reading that one. Honestly, didn't remember it at all. It's probably like one of the very few historic or holiday romances that my library had, and that's why I ended up on the list. But it doesn't have high ratings, and I'm not into it, so I changed it. Basically, it's not going to be any historical romances. They're all contemporary, which will be interesting because I haven't read a contemporary holiday romance before. Now, the first book I'm going to talk about, hear me out. I don't know what the first two really are about other than their holiday romances. And the first one is definitely for sure that type, and that is Cowboy Boots for Christmas. Why wouldn't I read a cowboy Christmas romance? Okay, I could read a Christmas romance, or I could read a cowboy Christmas romance. I'm basically just waiting for it to come in from the library. Someone's been reading it for the past 2 weeks, and I've been on the wait list. Like, I'm the only person on the wait list, so I'm just waiting for that person to finish it and send it back so that I can get it. That's basically all that's happening right now for that one. I don't know anything except that it's a cowboy romance. I don't expect great things from this book. I just expect to have a fun time and laugh a lot, probably, and that's kind of what I need right now because I am kind of in a reading slump. So okay, the second one, which is probably the one that I'm going to start today, is The Holiday Swap. Did I just read the synopsis for it for the first time? Yes. This wasn't originally planned for this vlog. When I originally made the list last year, I think it was like a week before I picked out my December box from Book of the Month, and then this was there. And I needed to get a book in December to get my free final Book of the Month finalist, that thing, for free. So I just got this one, and then I was like, you know what, I could plug it into the vlog, and here we are. It's giving me, what is it, the Princess Switch with Gabriella from High School Musical. The princess, yeah, I think it's called the Princess Switch, where one of them is a baker, and it's on this like rally baking show, but after being hit on the head, has some issues in this. That's what's happening. And then has a twin sister who has her life basically put together, and then she's going through this pretty bad breakup that is like still going on and whatnot. And so in order to do the things that they need to do, they switch places. And then I think one of the guys is a physician. Yeah, one of them's a physician's assistant and the other one is a firefighter, and that's kind of what it is. So gives me the Princess Switch a little bit, right? I expect this to be pure chaos, especially since it's kind of short. So, and the text size is pretty big. So, you know, there's not a lot of space for a whole entire switching place plot to happen. So, chaos has to happen, right? Like, if there isn't chaos in this book, I'm gonna be disappointed, and that's the only reason I'm not gonna enjoy this book, probably. So, you know, that's fun. But yeah, no, I need some chaos in my books right now, so I'm down for it. And then, the third one. Now, hear me out. I did switch it out. And I officially switched it out when I saw the book of the month, December romance this year. I decided to switch it out with that one. I'll talk about it in a second, but we're gonna unbox it. I was waiting for this to come in to film this intro, and I ordered this the 3rd. It came in yesterday, the 15th, which is the longest a book of the month box has ever taken. Really, it's never been this slow. I know they were having distribution issues, but yeah, it was bad. It like told me that it was gonna be here last Wednesday, and it didn't come until this Thursday. And it came the kind of the perfect time because the next few days is snowstorm time. So, you know, it is the perfect weather to read holiday romances. At least there's that. But I have this. I have a knife. And we're gonna open it. We're just gonna look at the one that I got for free for the end of the year finalists. And then we're gonna actually talk about the one that I'm gonna read for this vlog. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Just turn it upside down. What's the bookmark this time? Same time tomorrow? Wow, interesting. I got my wonderful stickers. I don't know where I'm gonna put them. Oh, wonderful. A thing about the end of the year finalist, or book of the year finalist, and yeah, I already know. I voted. My book didn't win. The one I would have gotten, I already got earlier this year, so I had to choose a different one. That happened last year too. I would have totally gotten The Love Hypothesis, except I already got it, and then I read it. So I got the mystery thriller, and then like a day later, I watched someone talking about, or doing like read every mystery thriller in the Goodreads Choice Awards type thing, that this was in. And they really liked it. It looks kind of short, but I'm very interested in it, and I've moderate hopes, because basically, except for 2, every Mr. Thriller I read this year has not been it, fam. So I need a good one. So maybe I'll pick this up after this video because it's kind of short, and we love that for me. So, you know, we're happy about that. But we're not here for that book. We're here for Kiss Her Once for Me. So this is fake dating, but bi, and I'm here for it. I just did reread the synopsis to like refresh my mind, but I read the synopsis for this and then instantly wanted to read it so bad, which is why I'm kind of waiting for it. I kind of want this to be the last one for this vlog because I have high hopes. Okay, so basically the main character, what's her name, Ellie, has a one-night thing with a woman. She has the time of her life, and then shortly after that she basically loses her dream job and all this fun stuff happens. And it's like a year later, she is now working at a coffee shop, trying her hardest. The landlord for the shop offers a marriage of convenience thing, where he will get his inheritance if she fake marries him, and she'll get like some of the money, so that will alleviate all her money issues. And yeah, so they go for the holidays to his family house to be like, hey, we're engaged, meet my fiance, give me my inheritance, please. You know, typical fake dating, fake relationship stuff, right? Except she gets there, and the woman from a year ago, who was just the greatest night of her life apparently, is his sister, and now she has to choose between the two of them. Yes, this is everything I want. Okay, this is everything I need. I'm so excited. I really have nothing else to say about this except this better be a great time, because I'm so excited for it. And it's also kind of short. We love that for me. The text is also kind of large, so yeah, this is gonna be a fun time. I'm very excited. And also, I love a vlog in which 2/3 of the books are physical. Editing me loves that. But yeah, that's the books for this vlog. I'm gonna probably start with the holiday swap, and if the Cowboy Boots for Christmas comes in before or right after I finish that one, I'll go to that one, but if not, I'll start this one second. Love the sounds of people with metal bowls downstairs. So I'm gonna close this off and say, yeah, stay tuned for me having the time of my life reading these romances, because I need some good books. Hello, we are back here fully because I need to take the picture for the thumbnail. I am dog sitting my grandparents' dog, and by that I mean they dropped her off for a few hours, and she's like right over there in my bed. She's like right there, like 3 feet away. So if you hear anything, that's what it is. It's her being a cutie, okay? But it is Monday, and I thought I should probably update you on this. I'm not having the best time. I am exactly a third of the way through. I finally got that far last night. It is taking a lot out of me to read this because I'm not enjoying it, really. At most, I'm probably gonna give it 3 stars. I'm gonna try to finish today. Let's hope. But also the cowboy one has not come in yet from the library, so whatever. But yeah, no, I'm not having a good time. I think I mentioned what this is about. Charlie and Cass, twins, have to switch places. Charlie gets a head injury at the baking show that she's on, and so they have to switch places. That's basically the premise. It's very Hallmark movie-esque. There was this one review, I may link it below, that perfectly put into words everything I'm feeling about this book, which is, this is the perfect type of book if you're the type of person to enjoy those Hallmark Netflix Christmas movies. I am not. And then also they mentioned briefly about the head injury and how dumb and unrealistic all that is, which is great because I keep on mentioning, 1, all of her symptoms, and 2, just in general, to my sister, who is like a neuroscience major, and like has to know this stuff, right? Like, she gets hit on the back of the head and she loses her sense of smell and taste. Thank you, Ivy. She gets hit on the back of the head and she loses her sense of smell and taste, right? Brought this up to my sister. No, that's not how it works. That's the wrong part of the brain. Apparently the only way that would have worked is if, like, a brain bleed. She thinks there's a high chance that she had an aneurysm, and that only took 2 tries to say properly. And whatnot. And maybe that burst. But yeah, no, she has, like, the loss of senses, but she also is, like, super dizzy, lightheaded, short-term memory loss, forgetting things, all that fun stuff. When she went to the hospital, the doctor, who is one of the love interests for Cass, her sister who's taken her place, Miguel is his name, was like, do you have any of these symptoms? Very bad headache. She has one. Dizziness, she has it. Nausea, she has it. Lightheadedness, she has it. Any other symptoms? Yeah, the sense of smell and taste. And she said no. And then he said that she had a concussion and she needs to rest. And then she drives to her sister's place to then switch places with her. I woke up early in the morning to bake for like 18 hours. Listen, my rage about the head trauma in this is over because I just watched Ivy dog go down my stairs. You can probably still hear her downstairs because I can. But my stairs are very short. Like the stairs themselves are not very wide and also very steep, and her going down them is her just hopping down them. And it was so cute. Anyways, the dog left, and yeah. Basically, I hate anything that has to do with a head injury, which is basically all of Charlie's character at this point. Hear me out. Is there any really other thing to talk about? The Arthur Nash guy, okay? Now, I had to, like, message people, and I asked my sister, too, because, like, she's the closest straight person I know. I was like, is this a hetero thing? I don't... Basically, Arthur Nash, has previously stolen recipes from Charlie, when they were in culinary school together, and they now co-host this bakery show, but they're competing to be the solo host of the next bakery show because theirs is being shut down, you know, the constant cycle of whatever, yeah. And so they're competing for it, and when she gets bonked on the head. And, in this book, you actually see, like, right where I left off, he has stolen one of her recipes again, and then he blames it on her, and I'm like, wait a second, no? But he constantly undermines her, in front of everyone to make it seem like he's the nice guy and all this stuff. And then also, he does the thing that really irks me, where he will, undermine how she looks, like says like, oh, you needed more sleep, or oh, you need more time in the makeup chair, or give her quote unquote well-meaning advice, but when he does it, he comes up behind her and gives her a shoulder massage, and it's like mentions this in like the first few pages, and Charlie included, everyone just accepts this as just a normal thing. Like, this is a completely normal thing, no one worries about it. She's like a little uncomfortable by it, and she doesn't like it, but like, it's just a normal thing. And I'm like, wait, no? Wait, no. Wait, no. And then Cass and Charlie switch places, and her first day there, he comes up behind her and does it, and she's like, excuse me, what? And she's the only person who shows, like, how wrong that is, and, but then, like, drops it in under a page. Like, hear me out. He could get, like, fired for this. Like, this is misconduct. Like, there's such thing as consent, my dude. And that's just, like, the bare minimum. But yeah, no, I was asking, people, and, all the gays and the one straight person I asked all said, no, that's, like, creepy? No. No. And then, so that makes me uncomfortable. And then, like, he's also just, like, a jerk all the time. And, yeah, it's not a fun time. But yeah, I don't think I feel Cass and Miguel's relationship, I can kind of see being a thing. Like, they, are actually kind of cute together. But, also, she just got out of a 10-year relationship that, like, the other party still thinks she's in. So, I think she needs some time alone to figure out her feelings, like a good year or something, before she gets into another relationship. And then, with Jake and Charlie, it, like, feels a little weird on that one, because, like, he actually knows Cass. He's known Cass for a good chunk of time now at this point. So, like, if he's, like, got a thing for Charlie, you assume that it's actually for Cass, and, like, Charlie's just the one there type thing. I don't know how I feel about it. But yeah, I'm not feeling the romance. I'm not feeling anything. I'm not having a good time. The head injury is really stupid, and I'm not having the best time, but I'm gonna speed through it. I'm sad that I couldn't find the audiobook. I really tried. I really did. But yeah, I'm gonna speed through this thing later today, because I need to finish it. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been talking about this book for way too long. So I'm gonna go. But understand that I'm not enjoying it. I guess the writing style is fine. I learned, yesterday. I already knew that I was a writing duo, but one is the first time they've written as a duo, either one of them in a duo, but also first time either one of them has written a romance. And it's kind of obvious because I'm a third of the way through, and the only hint of romance you get is that both of the girls find the other party in their love interest pairing attractive. And that's it. That's like all you got. I mean, I guess there's a little more with Cass and Miguel where they have a lot in common and whatnot, but also like he's got a celebrity crush on Charlie, so yeah, I'm not feeling it. So I'm just gonna speed through the rest of this and probably not rate it anything higher than a 2.5. Let's be real. Hello, welcome back to the corner. I'm pretty sure there's a train going on the tracks right now that's somewhat nearby, but we're just gonna ignore that because I did finish this yesterday. And I'm pretty sure this is what destroyed me back. Basically, I think it was around 9:30 p.m. that I finished this yesterday. Honestly amazed I managed to read the last 2/3 all yesterday when it took me 3 days to read a third of it, okay? But yeah, I was reading this in this chair, and apparently me being hunched over trying to speed read this destroyed my back. And we love that for me. So if you see the heating pad behind me, just know that's why. But yeah, this book, is it a surprise that I'm giving it a 2 stars based off of like the 15 minutes I talked about how much I don't like this? No, probably not. No, I was gonna take a break to let the train go by. It's slightly quieter than it was, but you know, we're just gonna continue because I don't have much time to film. The fun times of people being home. But yeah, you know, after the wrap up for December, this is going straight out on the unhaul pile because, like, seriously. And I think I figured out my other main issue and basically why I don't like the romance in this, which is basically deception. I really don't like it when there is a romantic pairing and you're supposed to root for this pairing and whatnot, and one of the characters in the pairing is lying about their identity in one way or another to the other person, and then everything ends up fine. They end up happy and together in the end anyways. Yeah, I really don't like that, especially when you as like the reader know this, and so you're just like experiencing it and like nothing bad happens because of it. I think the only book that I've accepted it and moved on from was Dark of the West, because in that one like he does get yelled at for using for telling her that he was someone that he was not, and all this stuff, not telling him who he really was. She was a little upset, understandably. So like I was fine with it, okay? And also like he felt very, very guilty. They mentioned they felt guilty for like 0.5 seconds in this book, and then it was moved on. The next thing you know, they're happy with their partners, and yay. I don't like it. I don't like it. Another thing is that I already mentioned that I was looking at reviews for this, and a lot of them, people said they couldn't really tell the twins apart, and I assume because Maggie Knox is a writing duo, one of them took one of the twins, right? So they each took a twin and wrote from the point of view of each twin. Makes sense. And a lot of people said they couldn't really tell the twins apart, and I didn't have much of a difficulty with that, because normally you would say where they were. So when it was like Cass, Los Angeles, I was like, okay, cool. I know that this is the one who is on the set. But as soon as they entered the same town, as soon as they were like the last maybe like 10%, maybe 15%, they were in the same town, hometown, and it was, yeah, I didn't know which one was which, especially since the main personality difference between the two of them is that Cass is more of a pushover, I guess. She doesn't stand up for herself as much and all this stuff, and she's less confident, which, like, we don't really see Charlie be confident or any of that stuff, really. The only instance we really see that is when she tells off Cass's ex, Brett. We'll talk about those two people at the end. But yeah, no, we don't really see it. We're just told that she's confident. And then by the end, Cass, because of this whole experience, is more of a confident person. And so, like, they're even more alike. And so, like, yeah, I get it. I get it. It's difficult to tell them apart. Other things. Brett got better in the end, I guess. Eventually he realized that he was not treating, Cass well, and, that's why they broke up, and it's fine that they broke up. And he has also moved on, like, really, really fast. And then, what was the Arthur guy? Arthur Nash, I think it was, on the TV show. He never got his comeuppance, hear me out. I mean, I guess at one point Cass did switch out an ingredient in his recipe, so he looked like a dum-dum on TV, which was kind of funny. But also, like, everyone notes that he is, like, kind of the worst, and yet he still gets the job because the higher-ups want him for the position because white guy. I don't know. And, like, everyone else tells him that, like, without Charlie there to basically be the nice person to make him look like a better person, it's not gonna go well for him. Since the new show is gonna be a solo show. And, yeah, Charlie never had a chance, which was great. Love it. So the whole entire point of this whole entire Switch thing was pointless. And yeah, but, like, it doesn't matter because in the end, he still gets the show and no one cares. I guess the person who was supposed to run the show, Sasha, leaves, because she really doesn't like him, and, recognizes when she's left with just him that she can't work with just him, which only happens after Cass tells her off for, like, letting them use Charlie all the time and dress her up in all these cute outfits because she's, like, the sweet one. But, like, Arthur can do whatever he wants and all this fun stuff. So yeah, that was fun, and by that I mean no. And then everything turned out fine with them, and they started their own new show, which was weird, in their hometown. Not sure how I feel about that. I kind of feel better about the relationship. Actually, I don't feel better about any relationship. I don't care. I really don't care. This was not a good time. I didn't like the romance aspect. The personal, like, work-life stuff, I kind of enjoyed. And then the sisters, like, got into the same area and they had a conversation about what happened on either side. One, we never got to see what happened. Also, we never got to see, like, Charlie actually telling off Brett. We just get told that it happens. Cool. Like, phase to black. Why? That's, like, the one part I wanted. When the work-life stuff happens, and they get back together and they tell each other what happens, they yell at each other for ruining each other's lives. And, it's kind of just dumb, and the whole entire thing's pointless. And also, I'd like to note that, like, halfway through the book, Charlie gets her sense of taste and smell back, but they decide to stay where they are. And, yeah, this wasn't a good time. I didn't like it, okay? We all understand this. And that's fine. From my understanding, most people who are not Hallmark movie type people who read this do not like it, so I'm not the only one. And yeah, I'm moving on to Cowboy Boots for Christmas. On the Storygraph page for that book, like, on the book cover it says in parentheses, cowboy not included, and on Storygraph that is part of the title. So that's interesting. Don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, about 2 minutes after I finished the holiday swap, it came in from the library, thankfully, finally. So I'm gonna read that today. Like, I'm gonna try to read it all today because I don't have time tomorrow to read much. But yeah, I assume it's gonna be a fast read. I've already read 10 pages and I already know what's happening in this book, so I can tell you about it. Basically, I think his name's Finn, is the cowboy. It's like 4 weeks before Christmas. He is an ex-sniper who, basically, his family got together to get the money for him to buy this ranch in this place called Burnt Boots, which is apparently the name of the whole entire series, because this is a series. But yeah, he's an ex-sniper. The FBI and CIA keep on trying to hire him to, like, do stuff, I don't know. But he's like, nah, I'm a cowboy now. And, then two SUVs show up, black SUVs, and he's like, oh, they're back to ask me to join again. But no, it's either Callie or Cassie, I can't remember her name, who is kind of like his best friend. She was his spotter when he was a sniper. So they're like really, really close. Apparently he was in a relationship, but like she's not there anymore. I don't know why. And she shows up and is brought to him because her nephew has witnessed a murder and knows who it, like, can tell them who it is and whatnot. So he's gonna be like on the trial, like as a witness and all this fun stuff. But because of that, they need to be in witness protection program instead of, you know, doing like any of the normal witness protection program stuff that you would normally do, which includes taking you away from anyone who possibly knows who you are. And like, if someone recognizes you, or you recognize someone, even the smallest, tiniest person from your previous life, like, you have to be moved again. They just take her to the person she's closest with in the whole entire world, who is the main character. It is dual POV so far, so we love that for me. But yeah, basically she's gonna be living with him to be in witness protection. And it seems like the trial's gonna be in February, so about that long. Fun. Throughout the holidays. And she kind of had a long-term crush on him. He also had a thing for her, but then he got with his ex, and now there's something going on there. I don't know. The way it's ran is like a person watched a bunch of Hollywood movies or something to try to figure out how cowboys / Southern people talk, and wrote a book using that knowledge. So all of it, like, none of the dialogue seems normal. Like, it's very weird. But that's fine. You know, I wasn't expecting the best written book ever in the whole entire universe with this, okay? We all know this. But yeah, also, the most important part about this book is that he has a yellow lab, just like me. But his is named Shotgun, which is an interesting name. But yeah, that's what's happening in this book. I plan to finish it today. And by that I mean read all of it today. So we'll see how that goes. Because Bestie is coming to visit tomorrow. So the next time I can update you is probably tomorrow afternoon. We'll see. Really just depends. But yeah, I'm gonna go do that. The only issue with it is that my sister's using my Kindle to read a library book, which means I have to read on my phone, which is annoying. But, you know, that's fine. I'm gonna go read some cowboy holiday romance like a normal person. And I will talk to you tomorrow with any thoughts I had about it. Probably none. But, you know, that's how it is. I realized when filming yesterday that my phone was pretty high up, so I don't know if this helped any. But this is the thing we're doing. We gotta talk about cowboy boots for Christmas. And honestly, I was talking with H a lot last night, and I could go into a whole conversation about early 2010s white woman, typical Karen reading, and how that skewed the ratings for this book on Goodreads, because I would follow Storygraph on this one, though I did like a few reviews for this book on Goodreads, because two of them really got me, and then one on Storygraph really understood me, rating it half a star. They fully understood me, and I'm gonna go into it. I'm not gonna go into like what I think is going on with Goodreads with this book, other than the fact that this book did come out in the early 2010s, and a lot of those reviews did come out then. And yeah, that's just a thing that you have to note. Now, I'm gonna start with the fact that the writing style for this book is crap. Okay, I don't know other way to say it. And I wasn't expecting the best written book. You know, we know the drill. But it wasn't good in any sense. The way dialogue worked in general I think I may have mentioned how someone watched a movie and they assumed that's how people talk type situation. But also, like, it felt like parts of conversations were just cut out, and then there was no, like, bridge put in to connect 2 points. So it felt like people were having two different conversations while talking to each other. So that was fun. In general, the writing wasn't good, and the plot wasn't good. And, this is where I mentioned that I rated it 1 star, which is, like, a thing that never happens. I rarely rate anything 1 star. Even books that I really, really, really hate, I will rate 1.5, if anything, at the lowest. Case in point, Where the Crawdads Sing. I totally forgot the name of that book for a second there. Whew. But I did it for this one because on top of that, there is a scene where a woman who has no relationship with the main male character at all, in any sense, like they have met one single time, walks up to him and kisses him in public, just like real make out with him. He's not into it, even if he was. Consent wasn't there. And so it's basically played as laughs because he's a big muscular rancher man and this tiny woman with big boobs kissed him. Oh my god. That's the first one. Well, not the first one. That's just kind of the smaller of all of them. I don't know. Maybe the smaller one could be the fat phobia. Cause the sheriff is a little bit of a larger man and is played off as jokes. Hear me out. The reason why he's a bigger man is because he has trauma from being shot on his job, and so now instead of being able to do his job properly, he decides to eat donuts all the time. And maybe someone should get him like therapy and also someone to work with, because is he the only police officer in this town? We don't need to talk about the Family Feud. Except we kind of do, because it follows the next one, which is the sexism. Basically, any female character that is not the main female character is basically played as a sleazy woman. Especially if they have big breasts. Oh my god. Here we go. Including the grandmas. The grandma characters are out here, like, making comments, which is, like, fine. Live your best life, grandma. But it's played for laughs and, like, oh my god, how dare this 60-year-old woman want to have a sex life? Like, and it's not like the main characters are prude or anything, because it's mentioned that she's been in relationships with men previously, and she's in an active, intimate relationship with the main character throughout the book. Therefore, not every woman who, like, sleeps around is, like, it boggles my mind. I don't know how to explain it, but basically, every woman who's not the main character is a sleazy. I forget the exact term they use. I don't want to use it anyways, because I hate this book. And then you get into I laugh because it's so bad. The racism. So I mentioned that he used to be a sniper and she was like his spotter. They fought in Afghanistan, and it was mentioned at one point that everyone from Afghanistan is a terrorist. I'm not even gonna say we love it as a joke, because, like, that's just a thing I say all the time, because we don't. No one read this book. It's so bad. Why does it have like a 4 point something on Goodreads? I do not know. At least the people on Storygraph understand me and have it like a 3.19. I'm not having a good time. Yeah, it's racist and Islamophobic. We're not gonna talk about how hard that word is for me to say, because I'm gonna make jokes to cover up how much pain I was in reading this book. I was getting racist vibes pretty early on. The way they would talk about their times, quote unquote, over there all the time. The only person from Afghanistan we get any actual details about is Finn, the main male character's ex. I think her name is Lala. I'm gonna go with Lala. It's Lala. She is his ex, And actually the whole entire time she was just using him because secretly she was a spy. And the way they talked about it made me a little uncomfortable. And then just the little terms he used here and there and talked about general things, I was a little uncomfortable. And then we got to the terrorist comment and just a few general things here and there overall that just made me so uncomfortable and not having a good time already on a book that I also wasn't enjoying. Like, this would have been a 2-star without even just the racist stuff. But here we are. And the moral of the story is don't read this book. It's really bad. I skim read it in one day. I don't understand anything that happened in the plot. And I don't think that has to do with the fact that I skim read, because I was looking at reviews and a lot of people are very confused on what was happening there. With the, like, adopting every child. Also, I don't need to go into it, but, like, what was going on with the witness protection stuff? Don't know what happened in the end with that. Also, she told quite literally everyone about that. And then also, I'm pretty sure a woman who's in witness protection isn't allowed to get married and adopt 3 foster children. I'm pretty sure that's not legal. Also, she just randomly shoots at trees to get women to stop fighting. The whole entire feud thing is just an issue on its own. This book is bad. No one read it. And, you know, I took the dust jacket off. I'm just gonna say it now. I'm only 9 pages into it, but it's gonna be the favorite of the video because everything else just sucked so bad. The only way this could be worse if it goes into biphobia, but, like, not a conversation about it and just, like, in a bad way. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know. Because I did see that one of the triggers or content warnings on Storygraph for this is transphobia and biphobia, which we love. But, you know, hear me out. The gays are gonna win in this video because everything else just sucked. What is my reading month in general? I don't know. And this was bad time, and I'm gonna go film a whole entire other video because I want to. And I just want to ignore this whole entire book. This wasn't quite 10 minutes, Jen. I told you it was going to be 10 minutes. It's not quite 10 minutes, but it was almost there. It's at 9 minutes right now, so. But we're moving on with our life because it's just bad. I'm pretty sure my review is just going to be something like, don't read this, please, on Goodreads, because why? Why? Anyways, I'm gonna try to get as far as I can in this. I'm only on chapter 2. Never mind. I'm on chapter 1. I read the prologue, but I'm on chapter 1. I'm gonna read this book with gays. That sounds very interesting. And hope I have a better time. So, you know, that's it. I'll update you whenever, because I'm so done. Hello, it is Christmas Day, and I may have just finished it. We're not gonna talk about it. The dishwasher is running below me, as well as the dryer. I don't know if you can hear it. Also, this is the weirdest angle, but my phone's staying in place, so we're taking it. But yeah, I finally read it. I think I said the day that I was gonna start it, I read 9 pages, which is basically the prologue. And then I didn't read any more until yesterday, and I read most of it. I think I had like 95 pages left that I just finished. And I'm going with 4 stars. The writing wasn't anything spectacular, though, especially as a bi woman, the representation of certain things as a bi woman. There was a part where her friend made like a Tinder profile for her, and she talks about how she doesn't like Tinder because it's basically just a bunch of married women with a free pass, or couples who want a bi woman for their threesome. And that was like 1 paragraph. It's like this big. And I was like, no, that's like my whole entire dating experience on apps, and that's why I stopped. So that was fun. And then there was this whole thing with her mom not really accepting her bi-ness, saying that she'll give dating a woman a try, like she did, and all this stuff. That, yeah, definitely felt it when it came to that. So that's fine. The romance itself was fine. I don't really like deception in romances, but I kind of saw where this one came from, so I wasn't too mad. The fake dating I liked because it was like actually, well, I like fake dating and marriage of convenience types things normally, but the way that she didn't end up with the guy she's fake dating, because the whole point of it is that she likes his sister and he likes his sister's best friend, so that was like a whole thing. The main real issue I had with this is I think that I have an issue with a lot of romances, especially since romances have started putting mental illness, mental health, and whatnot more prominent in their books. There's this thing where like the main character will not want to do something. They're basically on the verge of a panic attack. We understand this as people, and then people continuously push them to do this thing and force them to do it, and it seems like, oh, they did the right thing by making them go through all this internal trauma because they just should ski. And I hate it. I hate it whenever that happens, and it really annoys me, especially when the other person in a pairing does it, or best friends. That's another thing. The whole entire like actually fake engagement thing happens because she is forced into it or pushed into it by her two best friends. And I really didn't like that aspect. If she had decided to do it on her own, like decided to go on the date that led to them deciding to fake do engagement type situation, yeah, I would have been fine. But like her two best friends really pushed her into it, despite her saying that she really didn't want to. She was having a bad day. She just wanted to go home and have a good cry, but she's like forced to go out with this guy because her friends push her to. Yeah, no, I'm not into that. And then there was like the whole thing on the ski lodge where she did not want to ski, and she was like really having a panic attack about it. And then the main love interest, Jack, the sister, was like, hey, or you could just do it, and makes her do it. And that was like the one point where I didn't really like Jack. Another thing is the plot was kind of very predictable. Understandable. Like, we as readers know that Jack is going to be his sister, so like a third of the way through when they show up at the cabin and it's his sister that she's been talking about this whole time, yeah, kind of obvious, like we knew that. But also the third act plot twist thing that breaks them up, saw that a mile away. Saw that she was going to find out about the fake engagement because she mentioned the comic strip that she made about the fake engagement, and how some publisher was, or editor I think it was actually, emailed her about it. So she goes to look up her comic strip, and then, oh no, she now knows about the fake engagement, and they're broken up and all this stuff. Like, I saw that a mile away. Love that for me. But yeah, it was fine. Every once in a while to like show the 1 year ago time with Jack, there's like these little sections, little short chapters. They're not labeled as chapters, called Snow Day, which is the comic strip she wrote right after the thing that happened a year ago, to kind of show what happened in the past, but it was also her way to go through what happened in the past, and also so we can see what happened in the past, and how if they just decided to talk about it, and like all that fun stuff. I have not really a miscommunication issue, but kind of a miscommunication issue, because they both talk about, specifically Jack really talks about how they should do this queer woman thing and just talk about their feelings, and then when they talk about their feelings, things end up fine, and it's nice, and all that fun stuff to like kind of combat the miscommunication trope. But the whole entire basis of this is the fact that they didn't end up together a year ago because of a miscommunication. And also Elle gets like blamed for it. Like, she blames Jack for the whole time, and it turns out like what happened, I'm not gonna say because it's kind of a spoiler, but basically someone shows up after their night together, she gets upset, she leaves, right? And she gets blamed for not wanting to stay and talk about it. But I'm like, no, if that situation happened in real life, you would run away. You'd be like, what? And then run. So I kind of get it, why she did. But like, it's kind of made like it's her fault, and she's the reason why they don't work out because she always expects them to fail and all this stuff. There's a lot of stuff about her mental health, and the stuff in the last third about her, like, mental journey after they don't end up together because of the learning about the fake engagement, and her going through this mental health journey was, like, nice, but also, like, so out of the blue. And it was, like, very much, like, 50 pages of just about her mental health and the reasonings for her mental health issues and all this stuff. I'm just like, yes, but also, like, this is supposed to be a romance and we just know they're gonna end up together, so can I just get to that point? But yeah, this was 4 stars. Obviously the winner of this vlog. Honestly, do we need to talk about it? Yes, I'm gonna talk about it right now after I reposition the camera. I think that's slightly better. I don't know. But let's talk about the other 2 books. I'll just do like a general rundown that I do at every vlog. Talk about the other books I read. The first one being The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. What were my issues with this again? I didn't really care for the romance at all, either one of them. I kind of cared a little bit about, like, their professional lives, but not enough to really care. I hated every side character, disliked most of the main characters. The whole entire stuff with the amnesia, or not the amnesia, it wasn't amnesia, the stuff with the head injury and all that stuff was actually very dumb. And I just didn't really like it. Also, it was too Hallmark movie-esque for me, right? I'm not the type of person who likes Hallmark movies. So this is definitely the type of book for those type of people, which is not me. Therefore, not my book. So 2 stars. Then we go into Cowboy Boots for Christmas. Cowboy not included. The ebook for this vlog that made me want to throw myself off a cliff. To give like that basic rundown, it was poorly written, and I didn't really like the romance, which would have given it a 2, maybe 1.5 stars at the least. But then it was also racist, sexist, and fatphobic. So 1 star. Don't read it. And yeah, I am very mad that it's like the most highest rated of all 3 of these on Goodreads. I think this one has a 4.09 last I checked, and this has a 3 point something, which means Cowboy Boots for Christmas is the one with highest ratings with 4.13. And now I just further question Goodreads ratings and question if I should just follow Storygraph ones, because out on Storygraph it's like 3.1, and there's like a few people who liked it, but most people are like no. And like there's one person who rated it half a star, and that person understands me in my soul. And if I could rate half a star on Goodreads, I would. Cause what was that I read? At least I got to skim read. I don't know. And then I read this. This one was, yeah, the winner. I can officially enjoy contemporary Christmas holiday romances, but I think I should stick with the historical holiday romances, because I think the issue is that I kind of need something else in the romance, some other trope or not really trope, but like genre. Like this is mostly just like, this is basically a holiday movie in a book, so like that's all it is. And I thought maybe Cowboy Boots for Christmas because it was a cowboy romance as well, maybe. But yeah, no, this one is like fake dating, false engagement type situation. So like, yeah, that's why I think I like this one. It's not just a holiday romance, it has something else. And I think I've learned that about myself when I read holiday romances, so that's good to know. But yeah, this one was fun. It wasn't a perfect book or anything, but this was just a fun time. I really enjoyed it. Love the representation in general. And yeah, I'm gonna go officially put this one on the on-hub pile right here where it belongs, and end this vlog because it's done. I'm gonna go speed edit this whole thing. Love that for me. So thank you for coming to this this very chaotic vlog. Honestly, every vlog this month has been chaotic, let's be real. The next video that goes up is my 23 books to read in 2023. Haha, I remember now. That goes up, is coming up Wednesday. I was gonna do also a goals video, but I decided not to. I did film it, but like I decided, nah, I'm good. So that's gonna be the last video of 2022, so that's fun. Stay tuned for that. And yeah, this has been a fun time. Link below are my Goodreads, Instagram, and Storygraph. I do post reviews. Not currently, not in December, but starting January 1st, I will start posting reviews again on all 3 of them. Instagram has added photos. I'm going to change up how I do the photos for especially ebooks and whatnot. So that's fun. Also Instagram, I do stories where I talk about my books that I'm reading for vlogs. I do like star rating and like maybe a 1-sentence review. This one's quite literally just going to be like 4 stars. Cute. So that's fun. I also have book trackers and a bunch of other things, favorites of the month as well. And then in Instagram, you can keep track of what I'm reading in general, especially in a month like this where I gotta read a bunch of books. So that's a fun time, and yeah, that's it. So I'll see you. I will see you next year. You will see me before then if you watch the next video. So until then.